Hello, Council. We are here to talk about our wearable asthma monitoring device tailored for children. My name is Ingrid Morales.
I'm Esteban Peña.
And I'm David Vasquez.
Asthma is a respiratory condition. Kids deal with the most significant burden being at 52.7%. This is equivalent to 2.4 million children. So with that in mind, timely detection and intervention are crucial for children who may struggle to recognize or even effectively communicate these early symptoms.
The problem is that asthma attacks in children are not always easy to track. In the US, about 44% of children with asthma have uncontrolled asthma and experience at least one asthma attack per year. Because of this, parents and children may not always be able to accurately explain how often the attacks happen or how severe they are when they meet with their medical physician.
With this in mind, the purpose of our project was to design and implement a Bluetooth-enabled wearable device tailored for children to detect heart rate and respiration rate, detect early warning signs, and transmit real-time data to an external device that provides alerts, shows history, and notifies caregivers, parents, and doctors.
How we accomplished this was by using the Myosa board. Since we needed a way to monitor heart rate, respiration, and motion, this board gave us a super easy and clean way to connect all of the sensors together. On the left, we can see how the Myosa board communicates with each part of the system. The MAX 3001 is connected through one of the SPI protocols of the board and is in charge of the ECG and respiration acquisition, while the accelerometer and OLED screen use an I2C protocol, and with the help of a 4-pin GST connector that is provided in the kit, it helps us keep all of the needed pins organized through one single cable. This was really helpful since it kept the hardware setup clean and easy to test. Now, on the top right, we can see how easy it is to add a sensor module to the project, but just stacking one sensor over the other, just how we did with the accelerometer and the OLED screen. Then, at the bottom left, we can see how the fully integrated system looks like. The sensor collects the data, the Myosa board processes it, and finally sends it to an external app using BLE.
So now let's go through the process. First of all, we'll have our electrodes that are going to capture. We're going to have our sensor that is going to extract the signal, and we're going to have a microcontroller with an algorithm, the pan-complex algorithm. They'll basically clean the signal, detect the highest peaks, have a threshold for these highest peaks, and make sure these are not repeated. Then we're going to calculate the heartbeat and send it wirelessly to an external app.
Now, the biggest problem to overcome was making sure the device could consistently send out accurate measurements, regardless of the user's circumstances or environment. In practice, wearable signals can be affected by movement, transmission line noise, and false peaks, so our system needed a way to decide which ratings were realistic and which ones should be rejected. How we solved these problems was through 4 different approaches. First, we applied physiological limitations, so values outside the expected human range are rejected. Second, we use a refractory period, which prevents the system from counting the same heartbeat twice. This helps reduce sudden BPM spikes caused by noise. Third, we use smoothing for stable values, which means that the system does not immediately react to a one sudden reading. Instead, it looks at previous measurements and updates the BPM or respiration rate gradually. Finally, we use motion information from the accelerometer to know when the user is moving in order to decide how much confidence to place in the incoming data. Together, these 4 methods allow the device to track data reliably even when the user's conditions are not perfect, before sending the results to our app.
Now let's do a deep dive in the app. The app is built on 6 core components. Jetpack Compose gives us a fully decorative material through interface with animated color transitions and a seamless dark and light mode toggle. The BLE Manager class handles all Bluetooth communications, scan filters, GAT callbacks, and descriptor writes, and includes a simulation mode so we can demo without the physical hardware. Now let's move on to the screens. The app has 3 screens. The dashboard stores live BPM and respiration in real time and displays the current event level, normal, warning, or emergency. The history screen lets you filter by minutes, hours, days, or months with an interactive graph so you can drag to inspect specific values. Settings lets you configure medication info, toggle dark mode, and run a demo sequence that simulates a warning and emergency event on a timer. Now let's do a technical deep dive on the BLE. On the Bluetooth side, the app scans for a device named ESP32BPM, connects via GAT, subscribes through a CCC descriptor write, and parses the incoming BPM and respiration values from each packet, which then update the user interface and get stored in our room database. The alert engine classifies readings into 3 levels: normal, warning, and emergency, each with its own corresponding thresholds for heart rate and respiration. Alerts are debounced against the last event level, so there's no repeated spam, and a 30-second cooldown keeps everything clean. As you can see on the screen, when a threshold is crossed, the app fires both the push notification and an in-app dialog simultaneously. Thank you.